Alright, Brush Monkeys, we're back for another week, and this week we're painting the Reaper Bones Autumn Bronzeleaf. She is a female, I'm not sure if she's an elf wizard or just a female druid. I've seen her described as both when I went looking at pictures. So we're going to go with a female druid, and as the name Autumn would imply, I'm going to paint her all in autumn colors, reds, yellows, oranges, that kind of thing. And I think this is going to come out really nice. Also, unusually for most of my figures, because I tend to paint Caucasian skin tones a lot, I'm going to paint her skin as African American skin tone. And see, I think that's going to stand out really nicely against the autumn colors. There's a character at the Kansas City Renaissance Festival that she's African American and dresses as Mother Nature, I think, is her character, or the spirit of the harvest or something like that. But she's always dressed in fall colors and autumn leaves and that kind of thing. And I think it's a good color scheme between that skin tone and the fall colors, and so I'm going to paint this one kind of the same way, sort of inspired by her. So and then the base I've got textured on there, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this Nasdrag yellow contrast on the base, and then I'm going to glue some of this autumn flock on there and see how that looks. I think that'll look really good when I get it done too. So I'm going to go ahead and pause here and start getting on some base tones. So I will see you guys in a little bit. All right, bye. Alright, Brush Monkeys, I'm back and I've base coated Autumn Bronzeleaf here. And I think, let me zoom in on her here, but I think you'll agree with me that this combination of, I got her on camera here. I think you'll agree the combination of the autumn colors and the darker skin tone looked really good on her. I'm really happy with how this came out. Now the reds, oranges, and yellows look kind of flat on the back. It's because I haven't shade washed anything. This is just the base coats. So what's going to happen next is, now that I've got the base coats done, I'm going to shade wash the hair and the red robes with Carroburg. Actually, I'm going to do the robe with Carroburg Crimson. I think I'm going to do the hair with Druchii Violet, just because it's nice and dark, and get that nice dark shade to it. Do the robe with Carroburg Crimson. I'm going to do the orange with Fuegan Orange. I can't talk today. So I'm not using the purple at all. The yellow I'm going to do with Casadora Yellow. Let's back that out a little bit. And hopefully I'll get a nice transition between bright red to darker red to sort of darker orange, and then yellow to much darker yellow down around the bottom of her thing there. I did these were all just mundane paints. I didn't use contrast for any of that. The only thing I used the contrast paints on were the staff here is Wildwood, because she had some patterns on that and I wanted to bring those out. And the boots I was originally going to do in just plain brown, but let's see if I can zoom in a little bit on those. The boots had a kind of pattern on there, and so I wanted that pattern to pop out a little bit, so I did those in snakebite leather. And I think I'm going to go back over that pattern with the Balthazar Gold once the snakebite leather dries. And then the base did the rock in gray, and then did Nasdrag yellow for all the rest of that. And again, when that dries, I think I'm going to go over all of that with Agrax Earthshade. I think that's going to tone down the yellow a little bit and dirty up the rock a little bit. And then I'll go back over the rock with Dawnstone, and then hopefully I think the Nasdrag yellow will be okay with the Agrax in it. I think the Agrax will tone down the yellow and bring out the brown a little bit more. And then of course I'm going to put this flocking over the top of all of it, so it didn't really matter that it's a bright yellow. I just kind of wanted it to get the suggestion of being a kind of a yellow base for the flocking. And then the base band, of course, I haven't done yet. That's going to end up being this basic dirt paint. This is one of the paints I picked up at the Paint-A-Palooza thing. I'm just going to paint that whole base band like that, but you know, the nature of these paint handles means that's got to wait until like the last thing I do before I matte seal it. And I'm going to go over a little bit of like her belt, her necklace, her earring in gold. I think the rest of her gold is just going to stay the bronze it is. I may tone it down a little bit with the Agrax Earthshade. May put a little bit of Agrax on the breastplate pattern there, and maybe just a little dot of gold on the buttons on her legs there. But yeah, she's coming along really well. I'm really happy with the face. Let me zoom in on the face if I can, because I am really just ridiculously happy with how that came out. Between the shading in the eye sockets, the highlighting on the forehead and the cheeks and the nose, I got that lip just perfect. Like, just one of the red eyebrows match the red hair. I mean, come on. Honestly, I think that's one of the best faces I've done. I think she's really looking good. And I don't have a whole lot of practice in painting African American skin tones, but I think her skin came out really nicely too. I think she's looking really good so far. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and pause here and let those contrast paints dry, and then I'll come in and do the shade washes and see how those look, and then do some highlights after that. And yeah, she's coming along pretty nicely. I'm pretty happy with how she's coming out. So I will see you guys in a little bit then. Alright, quick update time. I got the shade washes on her done, and she's looking pretty good. They're still wet, so I'm going to let them dry for a little bit, and then we'll go in and highlight them. And I've got a bright red, got a bright orange, got a bright yellow for doing those highlights. And I think they're going to turn out pretty well. I kind of had to go into the shade wash the orange on the front with a red, because shade wash on the back looks really good, looks really nice and orange. The shade wash on the front, not so much. For some reason it just didn't run into the cracks that well. But yeah, I think she's turning out pretty well. I'm going to highlight all the golds and highlight the bronzes on her boots, and yeah, highlight the robes and her hair and all that. But I think it's coming along pretty well. So I'm going to go ahead and pause here and let that shade wash dry, and then we'll come back and when I've done the highlights. Alright? I'll see you soon. Bye. Alright, brush monkeys. I got the stone on the base dry brushed. I got all these lovely folds of fabric layered. Got her hair dry brushed with the Asterath red here. And she is looking really, really good. Oh, I got the golds layered too. Yeah, gold jewelry. I also discovered those two little parts over her shoulders were probably bronze. Just like solid armor. It looked like a separate plate, so I went ahead and painted those. Detailed up her boots, so they're looking really good. Overall, I'm really happy with how she looks. So I'm going to go ahead and transfer her to the cork now, and do the base, the flocking on the base, and the base band. So I'm going to go ahead and pause and do that, and the next time you see this young lady, she will be completely finished. So this was a really quick and easy figure to put together, and yet still has kind of a lot of detail on it, so I'm pretty happy with this one. I'm going to go ahead and turn this off and go finish her up, And then, like I said, next time you see her, she'll be completely done. See you soon. Bye. And there she is, Brush Monkey's Autumn Bronzeleaf is finished, and she looks really, really good. I'm really pleased with how she turned out. So, inspired by this one, I've decided that I'm going to extend the seasonal theme to my next figures. The next one is going to be Arden. He's an elf, looks like an elf fighter. But I'm going to paint him up in summer tones. And then I've got two female elf wizards that I'm going to paint as spring and winter. And so I'll have all 4 seasons represented by these 4 Bones figures. And I think that's going to be a neat little theme. And kind of interested to see how that turns out. I'm going to have to research how I'm going to do the difference between spring and summer. Winter I kind of already got nailed down. And the spring and the winter ones are going to be on sculpted bases that I learned how to do at the Paint-A-Palooza. So that's going to be another interesting point of difference between them all. So anyway, so that wraps it up for Autumn Bronzeleaf here. I'm going to go ahead and call her done. And I will see you guys next week. Thanks for watching. Bye. Hey Brush Monkeys, Tom from Flying Monkey Studios here. If you like what you see, click like down below. Click the subscribe button if you want to see more and want to be notified when new videos come out. Check out the links in the video description for links to our Patreon page and our Instagram, so you can see all the different ways that you can support me in doing what I do, and get your hands on some of these miniatures that I've painted if you want one of your own. You can also follow us on Twitter and Facebook if you want to see updates and see when new videos get posted. And I will see you guys next week. Thanks a lot. Bye.